Hello, hello.
Hi, I'm going to try to talk really loud today.
Just saying that it sounds like I'm yelling and it sounds like you're like whispering, barely there.
Because I'm a low talker.
You're a low talker.
I get people to wear the puffy shirt.
I'm glad I'm not wearing the puffy shirt. Okay, I'm Selene Castrovilla.
I'm Pascale. And if you don't know the puffy shirt, I'm sad for you.
I'm sure they know. Our people know.
Right?
I think.
Yeah.
Unless they might be Gen Z or millennial. So they do, and they might, whatever.
I have to tell you, I never remember any of those which is which. I just
Gen
don't
Z
know.
was the youngest, but there probably is another one now, but that are really little.
Okay.
Gen Z was like, Casey.
Oh, right.
Millennial is basically all our other kid, your kids and my other kid. I would say they're all millennials.
And what are we? X?
Gen X, baby.
Okay.
Where it's at. What a cool name, Gen X. I love it.
I feel like anything I see about Gen X is always good as opposed to the other ones.
They call them boomers. I mean, and I
boomers is above us. Yeah, they have a lot to say.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, so negative.
Yeah, they're the baby boomers.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this is Life in Jest, and it is episode, I think, 35. We're coming alive. Right? Okay.
It's like a Janet Ivanovich.
That's right. I think she quit that too, the whole thing.
She did.
But did the woman ever age at all?
No, and her hamster's still alive after like 25 years. That's some hamster.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to start with a very mini segment. It's an update. Remember 2 weeks ago we talked about the happiness, that we came out in the happiness, the World Happiness Rankings? I think it was, 21 to 20.
I actually remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, they said it was because we don't eat dinner with people. And I didn't get that correlation. I will go along with us not being that happy, but for very different reasons, as we spoke about. But they said that when you have dinner with other people, you get other people's point of view and it brightens your horizons. But you and I both said, no, people just fight at dinner. They just argue.
Honestly, I know this is not going to sound very nice, but I don't give a fuck about other people's. I don't care.
Well, right. And you may not care enough to argue, but a lot of people will start brawling. You know what I mean? And there's nothing to be learned at dinner conversation.
I have no interest in fighting with people. Like, I mean, I have to care about something so much to fight. And there is not much I care about.
Well, what if somebody did bring up politics that you didn't believe in? You might argue.
I usually don't.
Even now, though? I'm talking now.
Yes, I usually don't. But here's what I'm thinking. God, that person's stupid.
You wouldn't actually say that to them?
No. Why bother?
I don't mean
They're
to.
stupid.
I haven't
so
had this.
Cares?
Well, I feel like I might, after a while, I might explode. Well, here's what happened.
I mean, if they said something like racist or something like that was... I did have a fight with somebody about this.
I feel like if they're for you-know-who, they are racist.
Well, if they don't say anything outwardly terrible, I'll let it go. But I did have a big fight with somebody because I just couldn't listen to it. I was like, everything that was coming out of the person's mouth was so obnoxious and stupid.
Oh, is it that fight that was a while ago?
Yeah.
Yes, that was a big one. That was a big one.
Yeah,
you got pushed down. Yeah, you got pushed, like you got triggered into that.
I was very triggered, and I don't usually take the bait.
No.
But I did that
because,
time.
it's certain circumstances align.
Because I was like, who thinks like that? It's the most ridiculous.
Well, a lot of people think
what
like
are you,
that.
fucking Archie Bunker? Like, what planet do you live on?
Unfortunately, there's a lot of Archie Bunkers these days.
At some point, I
don't know if they know who Archie Bunker is.
I looked at them and I'm like, you believe Noah's Ark fucking happened? What's wrong with you? Sorry for religious people, but that shit didn't happen. You've got to understand that didn't happen.
From a logical perspective, I've always said that it's mean.
It is mean.
Yeah, it's very mean.
And it's impossible. Sorry.
Is it impossible? It's not probable, and it's very unrealistic. I mean, like, why would he even do that?
Right.
All right. Anyway, regarding the dinner thing. No, that's fine, but this is us. This is us. A show I will never watch because I don't want to see anything more emotional. I've had enough.
Yeah, me neither.
No, I don't need it. Both my kids loved it though. It's the best show ever. I'm like, really?
Yeah, people love that show.
I can't.
It's just not for me.
I heard what happens in the beginning, and it's too sad already. I can't take it.
I feel like I did too. Like something happens to the guy or the girl.
No, Mandy Moore has the
Oh,
babies
Mandy
and one
Moore.
died.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
Oh,
get that.
no, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. She had twins.
That's a bummer.
I know. Needs that. Don't we have enough grief in our lives?
I guess people don't because they love
I'm not
that
watching
show.
White Lotus. I can't take that stuff either. It's too
I
sad.
have no interest in that either.
No.
I don't know why.
Well, Casey loved it, and so. But so I watched it with him, but now it makes me sad,
Yeah, usually
I like it anyway.
Casey we're on the same page about shows, but for some reason I didn't want to watch that one.
It's a
Once
strange
again,
show.
people love that too.
It doesn't feel genuine to me, for sure. I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. I do admire the way the guy wrote it, but that's a whole other thing as well. So what I wanted to say was something unfolded right in front of me in the street that reminded me, it was an example of what we were saying. I was at the bank in Long Beach at night. I use the cash machine. And I come out and there's this girl on her phone yelling. She goes, "Because my father cannot keep his goddamn mouth shut about politics." I gathered that she had stormed out of dinner with people, probably with her boyfriend or husband, something.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, a car jerks up. A guy runs out and it's her father and he's begging for forgiveness.
Oh my
He's
God,
like, "I'm sorry."
really?
And she's like, "Go the fuck away from me." Da, 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 da.
Wow, I wonder who was on what side.
He looked like this is really judgmental. I don't think she's on any side. I think she just wanted peace.
She just didn't want to
She
hear
wanted
it.
the peace.
Yeah.
But it was because it was probably with her boyfriend or her partner's family. And obviously she knows that the family differs from his opinion. And all she wanted was for him not to bring it up, which goes to show you when someone is on one side of the political arena, they're not going to be convinced because the other person says something. It's a silly thing to say.
Well, that's what I meant. That's why I don't engage usually, because what is the point? To frustrate myself?
Well, why do people even bring it up if you think about it? Like, well, the guy just couldn't keep his mouth.
Oh, yeah,
She was
because
right.
there's people who can't shut up about
He
it.
looked like he could have been a Trumper for sure.
Well,
he had that little skinny beady eyed look.
Look at where we live. I mean,
the other one's family had to be not that then.
I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you never know, though.
Well, they weren't. It all came into a big fight. That's why.
Yeah, but you don't know. I mean, you can guess.
I think, who knows? Anyway, I just thought that was funny that.
I like that he drove up. That's so weird.
And then she walked away, and then he cut around again to get to her.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he really wanted his daughter to forgive him.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Well, he should have kept his goddamn mouth shut.
Yeah, why ruin
She
dinner?
just didn't want to deal with him at all. She's like, "Get the fuck away from me."
You're having dinner. Like, just have a good time. What is the point?
It's all ruined now. I have another mini segment, and it's called Bad Recycling News.
Uh-oh.
Okay, this is like, do you want to reveal what you know about recycling?
No.
Okay. Well, I have heard stories about recycling is bullshit.
I have also, but do you know, I still do it. Because I feel like, I feel like I shouldn't stop. I don't know why.
No. One thing I can't stand is finding out that I've been given busy work. It makes me so angry that my time has been wasted just to placate me. It's to make us think we're doing something. And when we're not. It's the same thing as like giving a child something to keep them busy. You know what I mean?
I know, but I was thinking about this. So when they say they make things out of recycled plastic, where do they get it from?
So in one garbage place and they get it. They could be lying about that though.
Maybe.
I mean, is anyone really, how do we really know anyone is telling the truth?
Yeah, I don't know.
But if they do it, they could be going, because what I learned about the recycling plants is that it all goes to the regular garbage dump. So they're probably just getting it out of the garbage dump. But I'm not separating anything. I'm done. But I was doing my deliveries and I had an empty, it's not Smart Water, but it's like the Costco version, right? So I drank it. I finished it. So I figured, well, Just Salad has the recycling compartment. I'm like, I might as well put it in there. So this must be late teens, I guess. He was changing the bag in the recycling one. I go, "Oh, I'll wait." And he goes, "It doesn't matter." No, he said it don't matter. It don't matter. Yeah. It don't matter. I go, "Are you saying they all go into the same garbage?" He goes, "Yep." I go, "I knew it."
I know. I was just telling somebody this. You don't know what goes on with these people in those stores.
What? But it's so stupid. All this busy work for us. Just tell us the truth so we can go about our business. We're all sitting there fussing about what to put it in.
I think, well, they also probably got a lot of shit from people that, if they don't have the recycling
Like Joe Salad,
option,
they act like they're all green and all that. Maybe because they sell greens.
none of those places are.
I know,
There's so much stuff going
shouldn't have admitted
on.
it, I guess.
Yeah, you
But-
never want to know what's going on in any restaurant.
Oh, there's a lot of times I see these pizza guys making pizza and they just have bare hands. It's disgusting.
Most places, you think they're going to use gloves, they don't.
That's a very intimate thing when you're shaping that pizza. You really should be wearing something.
Of course, but people don't.
That really is a lot of handling.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's really disgusting.
Usually
really
you can't see what's going on back there. It's
they do it right in front of you in some of these places.
Some of these places, but imagine if that's what's going on in front of you, imagine what's going on behind the scenes.
Oh.
You can't look too deep into it.
I wasn't trying to do anything. He was just doing it in front of me.
You were just trying
I was just trying to get the pizza to go. And I'm like, whoa. Yuck.
I bet you were glad it wasn't your pizza.
Yeah, pizza makes me sick lately anyway from the Zepbound, so I don't need it. But yeah, it was pretty gross. And I'm like, yeah, that makes me wonder about other things. Anyway, so keeping up on the it don't matter theme, Trump says the environment don't matter. He has lifted Biden's protections that were supposed to last for 20 years. Biden had these protections on mountain range in Nevada and something else. I don't know. I was supposed to cut and paste it, but I forgot to. You look in the New York Times if you're interested. But this is the thing that I think out of all the things that are happening alarms me the most, because there's no going back on that with the global warming.
Nope.
And he's going to let everybody drill, even though people said there's nothing there worth drilling for, and it's protected. He's now said it's open season, so they're going to drill for like nothing. But what about the environment? What about global warming? It's all happening because of all the shit we have done to this planet. And he's just doing it for, I guess, money. Whatever. He gets money from the people. They're his cronies, I guess.
I mean, does he do anything that's...
I don't know, but it was supposed to be protected for 20 years. He's just always ignoring anything that's in place. Like taking people when there's judge's orders, don't take them. He's just ignoring every order.
Oh, yeah, he's lawless. He doesn't care.
I don't think the president should be lawless.
Of course not. I mean, he's a convicted rapist.
No, he's not. It's not.
Oh, it's not rape?
No, he's not convicted. That was a civil thing.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
What are we talking about? Oh, the one in the city?
Yeah.
No, what was it? Was that for?
They're felony counts, isn't that?
Yeah, but what was it? It wasn't rape.
I thought it was for that whatever.
No. Her trial was civil. She sued him.
So what was the other one? Who was the other one?
It was about
Why don't I know this?
Oh, it's so long ago in my head. It was felonies, but it was like it wasn't involving rape. That's all I can say. It was the transfer, the money. He used campaign money to pay off somebody.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. Okay, but the Eugene woman was civil.
Okay.
Because the statute of limitations would have ended on that for a,
I just got them mixed up.
So he's not a convicted rapist. He's a convicted felon.
I'm sorry.
But he's probably trying to get rid of that. I don't know. But whatever. But I don't know. But out of everything, I think the environment, well, of course, oh my God. Someone told me that their favorite Chinese restaurant, the owner was taken away in the middle of the night by ICE.
Yeah.
Chinese restaurant.
Yeah. Well,
just taken.
Yeah, they're taking people. Yeah.
The man's been in business for a long time there, and they just took him.
Doesn't matter.
It don't matter. Get with the theme.
Oh, no. I just heard a story. I just heard this, and I'm going to get it wrong because, and my mind is like a sieve. Sieve? Yeah.
Yeah, sieve. I like that.
It was about somebody getting deported because they thought he was a gang member. He was absolutely not a gang member. And then they sent him to some other country.
Yeah, they sent him on the plane, the El Salvador thing.
Yeah.
And no, I think I told you about this.
Oh, really?
Because I'm crazy about this. I posted it on Facebook.
I'm not on Facebook.
But I told you.
Yeah, so I might have looked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have been going crazy about this because it's so sad because he cried for his mother, and anybody that cries for their mother totally gets me. Yeah, I can't take that.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I thought it was two different things.
It's the guy that cried. It's the guy that first he was missing, like he was supposed to go.
I remember you saying
supposed to go to a hearing, and then the lawyer said he's got these amazing lawyers that defend people against being arrested and all these things, but he didn't show up for the thing. And they're like, "Where is he?" And he was like erased from all their anything saying where he was. It was all erased. So they're like, "Where is he? Where is he?" And then at the same time, a Time magazine guy, happened to be. I can't believe they even let him in that El Salvador place, that horrible prison. And he saw this guy. The guards shave all their heads, all the prisoners' heads. I guess it's to dehumanize. I'm really not sure. Is it a lice thing? I don't know why they do it, but they shave all their heads, and the guy is crying, and he's hitting him, and he's saying he wasn't a gang member, and the Time and he said, I'm not a gang member. I'm gay. I'm a barber, and he didn't say, but he's also a makeup artist. I mean, he's so threatening.
Oh, then I think this is a different person because, yes, because first of all, I absolutely forgot until this moment that we had this conversation.
The guy wasn't gay or a barber?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, you're talking about the kid that was 18 that got taken away.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's another one.
Okay.
I feel bad for him too.
I was like, he wasn't a gay barber.
But I do. I feel bad for him too. But I didn't hear like the actual story with them pleading for the mother. When they plead for the mother, that just
I mean,
But he was like, imagine how is a gay guy going to survive in this horrible prison when those gang members are all homophobes? And the worst thing is, to my knowledge, no one has gotten him out yet. Now, the lawyers are fighting. I wrote to the lawyer. I'm like, can I do a petition? But I didn't get anything back. But maybe, hopefully he is out, and I don't know it yet because I'm up on legal counsel's advice. I am no longer reading the news, except like things that I have to look up for us. Because all I do, I guess he just doesn't want to hear me crying anymore. I cry. Oh God, I cried about that guy with the cats.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
So sad.
Talk about this. I'm sorry, but the man's son died, and then he was so grief-stricken that he started this animal sanctuary, had 300 animals, and then apparently someone started the fire, okay? They didn't like the cats being there, and he died trying to rescue cats. Like 100 cats died, and he died.
Can you imagine doing that because you don't like it? Like, what's wrong with you?
He said he was thinking he was going to move upstate because he knew people didn't like it. I don't know how you could live with yourself. I don't know how you could arson is despicable no matter what. Everything's despicable. But I went on a rant on Facebook, and I'll spare you some of the things I said, but I was very upset. Like, it seems like all the people with any kind of consciousness, any hearts, anybody vulnerable, they're just thrown away, but all the devils walk around free, around no problem. So anyway, going back to that thing, Trump says global warming is a hoax. Now, it's so proven, right? It's so proven. But say all the scientists were lying, right? Why would they lie? To what avail are they lying? Like, we have nothing else to do. We'll just make up a whole thing. Don't you think scientists have anything better to do? They're not like, well, let's cause some trouble. There's no reason. And I think Trump, you know how people don't understand people that are not like them? Like, so because he's a liar, I think he assumes they're liars. He doesn't understand that anyone could have altruism. I think he just thinks they're lying because that's all he knows.
Yep.
So disgusted.
There's so much to be discussed.
Well, then in other bitch baby news, Trump has warned foreign countries about retaliating against his tariffs. You like that? For countries that respond with further tariffs, and others like tit for tat, is a quote, "The president's going to deal with them with strength and power," said Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary. So my retort is, there goes the U.S.'s chances of winning Miss World Congeniality. And then the guy said, if you make him unhappy, he responds unhappy. What a stable genius.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the best. I mean, these tariffs are insane. And he said he could care less if all our car prices are going to go up, which of course they are. The only one that won't go up, I told you.
Yeah.
Tesla. Bitch. I would rather crawl through the streets than have a Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I don't know who's going to come in and save the day because a lot of the lawyers are folding. Some of them are taking him to court. When you see a whole law firm bowing down to him, because what he's doing is absolutely ridiculous. He's denying them entrance into a building to do their job. I mean, like, how can he get away with this? I heard about 4 firms. 2 of them are fighting it and going to court, but 2 of them caved, and they're going to do like some insane amount of $1 billion and working on things for him. Great.
Wonderful.
Yeah. The only cool thing is to see so many Trump voters already reaping what they've sowed. Like it's going like wildfire. I never thought that so much could happen so fast. And mostly it's really, it is all negative. But a lot of these working class auto workers are being laid off already because of the tariffs. Like they don't waste any time over there. Well, I know a lot of them voted for Trump, you know. Can you imagine you vote for somebody and immediately you get laid off? Like that's, they must understand now, like, because a lot of people refuse to see the correlation with something. You know, they're like, oh, the economy is bad with Biden. Well, I think the economy is going even worse. It's going off the deep end. So what are they going to say? They can't maybe they will defend.
Oh,
him.
they will.
Well, they're getting
They
laid up. And what about the
absolutely
Wall
will.
Street billionaires? They've lost their minds because of the
Didn't I
whole
tell you?
stock market.
So
They thought he wasn't going to do it.
I lost money.
Oh, no.
I on my investments, I have lost like $1,000 in the last month.
Shit. Wow.
I called the financial guy and I was like, what the fuck is happening? I'm really freaked out. And he's like, just stay with it. It's going to get better. And he's like, you should put more money in now.
Because it's low.
Get it while it's low.
That's like playing Russian roulette, though.
It
like
is.
they say, like, because now with Trump, you don't know what's going to, like in a normal life, you could say that, but you never really know what's going to happen now. So to put more money in, it's not like you have money to waste.
No.
If you had a ton of money, you could play around with it. But even the Wall Street billionaires are freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't believe that they did this. Really? The man doesn't know how to run an economy. He bankrupted his casinos. What are you doing? Why did everybody think you're such a great businessman? I don't understand.
I have another friend, and they told me recently that they lost, I mean, even more than I did. I can't take it. I forget how old I have to be, like in my 60s, I guess. So the only thing I could possibly do is stop contributing.
Oh.
Like I can't touch.
Well, I'm not telling you to take it out. I think you should leave it there anyway. But
no, I'm not allowed to.
Even for a penalty, you can. I think you can.
I think usually, but I don't want to pay a penalty.
Well, it's not that much. But I'm not telling you to do it. But there is always a way to get your money. It's just you pay a penalty.
I'm not doing that.
No, I don't think you should do it. I think you should leave it, and hopefully it'll come back.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting how everybody's bugging out, and these people, these billionaires supported him, and now they actually took an emergency meeting with him, begging him not to do the tariffs, but he did them anyway. He said there was a rumor that he was going to not do it, and then the stock market kind of went up, and then it was proven that it was not true, and then they've crashed. But I don't want the world to end here, but people are getting dragged off the streets. The environment being destroyed, this world is never going to really be able to recover. I don't know how they're going to survive in the future. I really don't.
I don't know.
So, and then the other thing about Trump is, of course, there's a lot of racist stuff and things like that. So I came across this documentary that happened. Well, the documentary came out 10 years ago, and it's about something that happened. It started in 2012, but it's just so relevant because, like, I think if we talk about what happened in this town, we can sort of think about ways to try to deal with what's happening now. But it goes to show you that things don't change just because time changes. You would think that things would get more progressive and better, but as things are now, not so.
By the way, I started watching this and I'm like, what year is this? First of all, I don't know what's going on. And is it North Dakota?
It was North Dakota. You want to tell them what it is? Wait, before you get into that,
it's so many thoughts.
It's called Welcome to Leith, and it's Leith, and it's Leith, North Dakota. And their census said that they had 16 people living there in the 2010 census, but the mayor of Leith said that the population at the time, at 2012, was 24. So let's get it right.
Yes,
24 people. They have one business in town, and you know what that is, right?
Yeah, it was. What was it?
A bar.
Oh, right.
Everything else has gone out of business. I guess they have to drive to another town to get their groceries and stuff. I think they're 70 miles away from anything else. So they bet, they're going to Costco and stocking up. Yeah. But every other business in that town what happened was it didn't have a ton of people. It maybe had like 100 and something, 130. I think. I don't quote me on that one because I don't have that written here. But 1930, the railroad stopped going there, and that's when everybody just jumped ship on the place. So, but they're happy there. Like they're like chill. They like being here.
Very happy.
Yeah, but then
then shit went wrong.
So
I mean, these poor people, just like.
Well, I will say that it shows that they were all white except for one black resident who was married to a white woman, and they live like right by this other guy. This other guy, his name is Craig Cobb, and he is a white supremacist. And he showed up. I was singing that Grease song. He showed up, flashing around. And they're very welcoming in Leith. They're into having more people there. So he came in. I think the first introduction was he came into the bar to charge his phone, and she was just nice to him, And I think somebody said that they thought about they didn't like, they didn't think he was cute or anything, and he was not.
No.
He looked like a gnome, but with no hair in the front. Like,
he was.
It looked like someone half scalped him, right?
I have to tell you, the racists, my God, that was not. Those were not lookers.
No, but this guy's really like, it looks like someone half scalped him, right?
Yeah. And that's his little minion, that other guy with the weasel face.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh,
I know. Well, but
I usually don't comment on people's looks.
You can go him. We can comment on.
Those were rough,
horrible people,
and they were horrible racists.
But this woman, she still thought to herself, "Well, maybe I could set him up with my mom. She's single." I don't care how ugly he is. Maybe mom will like him.
Well, if he was that ugly, and he was, if he had a really great personality, it was a really great guy.
But okay, she didn't know anything about him, and she thought that. That's because everybody feels like a woman must have a partner.
Yes.
And we were going to try to partner them up, Oh my God, it's ridiculous. So he actually bought his property. He moved there, and then he bought other properties. And they were like, whatever. They assumed that he was there because of the proximity to oil fields, like to get work over there or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So they're very innocent in Leith.
Well, why would you ever think, I
wouldn't think that, but I might Google the guy.
I don't know. I don't think I would be suspicious at first.
No, well, I'm not sure.
Maybe me and the one black guy.
No, he didn't. He was chill.
He was remarkably relaxed.
He was. His wife was more upset.
Oh, I would be very upset.
Yeah, but so they just like la la la, and everybody was nice to him. But thank God somebody was paying attention. There's this. What he was doing was posting on all these racist forums, telling his racist friends that he bought this different properties. They could buy it from him and come take over the town, just take over the whole local government. And this was a plan to be used in other places as well. So luckily, I'm looking to see the name of those people that found out. I have it here. Hold on. This is a great people here. It's called the Southern Poverty Law Center.
They were great.
Amazing people. They monitor all these groups and they see what they're saying. And they contacted the mayor of Leith and like, dude, they're coming for you,
Big old race.
And the mayor, God bless his little heart, was like, what's a white supremacist?
Imagine living in such a great place that you don't know what a white supremacist is. I don't know how that's possible.
Because they were all nice people. It's really nice because you don't know about North Dakota. That's one of those places it sounds like, isn't South Dakota where that horrible woman is the governor? Christine Nome.
Oh,
right.
Is it?
Yeah. So you figure North Dakota, they probably suck too, but they don't.
No, these people were so nice.
Yeah. Maybe all of South Dakota doesn't suck either. Just because someone's the governor doesn't mean that the whole place sucks,
right.
And I will say, this is very heartening that they were not racist in any way. And they freely lived with the one black guy.
I know. He seemed like such a nice guy.
Yeah.
They all seemed like really people you'd want to hang out with.
Because I think there was a couple where their daughter was murdered, right? And they were there just because they wanted to get away from the horrors of civilization, and then they're confronted with this guy who brings up their daughter's death.
I know. Just when you thought he couldn't get worse.
Disgusting. So thank God, if the Southern Poverty Law Center had not discovered this, it probably would have gone through.
Yeah.
Because the people were completely oblivious. And we probably would have been too, because you're involved in your own life.
And why would you think that would happen?
And you don't again, if you don't even know what to write, you wouldn't be thinking if he's not showing it. He started flying his flags once it all came out.
Right. And so many flags.
So many flags.
Do you find people with a lot of flags to be a little suspicious at this moment?
Well, there's those people in Long Beach with the humongous flags all over their Jeep.
Yeah.
And now they have a giant blow-up doll of Donald Trump, like flying. He goes like this off their balcony, flying off their balcony. It's humongous. He's the size of 20 people. And he's on their balcony. It must drive the other people because it's like kind of blocking the balcony. I mean, I think I would, if I lived there, I don't even care if I was for Trump. I mean, these people too. How could you be that extreme that you're doing all this shit? The man won. What do you want?
That's what I was going to say. There is never, I'm sure I've said this before, there has never been somebody that I liked enough to do any of that.
None of it. But I mean, even say you were trying to support him to win, but he won. So what are you doing now? What are you doing?
Or put a bumper sticker on your car. Oh, plenty of people have them.
And they also have things about Biden still. Like, Biden's not there anymore. So what are you doing? Leave it now? It looks mean now because like this old man being attacked.
I know, but they don't have anybody. That's the last person they.
No, they don't. Kamala's not on there though. Surprising.
Yeah, that's true.
It's Biden they go after.
They really do.
Yeah, I guess because he was the president.
He was the actual president.
But he looks so frail.
I know.
So how this got made was once it got exposed, the New York Times ran a front page article about it in 2013. Like when they were in the midst of fighting with them, they were battling, trying to take over openly. And so the town put ordinances. This was smart. They put ordinances that you couldn't live someplace that didn't have running water. Why would you want to live someplace?
I don't know.
Disgusting. But so that definitely threw like a roadblock in, but it wasn't deterring enough. And they had a doomsday plan that if supremacists came, they could overtake government, the council would immediately dissolve the government. And I say, I'm not going to say anything except that's an interesting concept. That's all I'm going to say.
But yeah, you know what? I was so impressed at those townspeople because these people were kind of scary.
Right.
And they did not give a fuck. They were like, we're not going to take that.
Yeah,
they were absolutely not going to let that happen to their town. And I mean, and they were all white people. It's not like this guy would have, gone after them.
Well,
otherwise.
He was shocked that the white people weren't all on his side.
Right.
He just assumed that when he came, he was like, "What? I'm helping you. We've all been bullied down. Oh, our race is diminishing." He didn't say diminishing. He was not stupid either. He was smart. He had a good vocabulary. But he said the basic idea was that it's to take back what has been taken from them, and he just assumed that if they were white, they'd be on board. And he said something really mean about the wife of the black guy. I forget what he called her, but it wasn't nice. Race mixing whore.
Oh yeah,
like that.
But these people are not having it. I love that about them.
So these guys read the article in the New York Times and they decided to make a document because it was still happening, right?
Yeah.
So they went to Leith and they filmed things. And then after it all came down, and we'll tell you about how it ended after, they went on Kickstarter and got funding to make the documentary. And they did. And part of the review says, "Welcome to Leith." This is a New York Times review of the documentary after it came out. "Welcome to Leith wisely resists the kind of gimmickry that might have resulted in a stylistic hybrid of the Blair Witch Project or Invasion of the Body Snatchers." So they said sometimes it seems like it could be like a horror movie, a Western horror movie, But they said the film gives Mr. Cobb ample time to explain himself in language casually peppered with racist epithets that are all the more offensive for being delivered matter-of-factly.
Oh, yeah.
He and his youngest associate, Kynan Dutton, speaking calm, rational tones. And then the representatives from the National Socialist Front, which sounds reasonable, but it's actually Nazis.
Oh, no. No, they were not.
I thought socialists were reasonable.
Not these.
But then again, Russia, isn't that the United something of Soviet, socialist, something socialist republic, isn't it?
I think it might be. I don't know.
I thought socialists in this country were, but anyway, they're just using that name, I guess. And they show up with the neo-Nazi flags, swastikas. And then Mr. Cobb joins with them and parades on the streets and this and that. And it says the movie nervously skirts over the civil rights issues about freedom of speech to paint the town's victory over Mr. Cobb as a happy ending. And then it says Mr. Cobb is a truly scary presence whose eyes burn with fervor as he describes his racist, anti-Semitic agenda. At the same time, he is articulate, intelligent, determined, and dangerous. That's the thing. a lot of these people come off like they're idiots, right? But this guy's
they're
not.
not.
No. Well, some are, I
that's
guess, but-
what makes them so dangerous.
Do you remember the episode of Arrested? No. What's this thing with what's his name? You know.
What?
Larry David. Curb Your
Curb Your
Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
With the Ku Klux Klan guy. That was the best. He spilled coffee on his robe. And the guy's like, what am I going to do? I need this robe. And he tried to get the dry cleaner's like, I'm not dealing with this. I think they did, but then he mysteriously vanished. And then he asked his friend to sew it or something. And then she wound up sewing like a Jewish symbol, the Jewish star on the back of it. And he went over there. Meanwhile, Larry was oblivious to all this. He really was just trying to do the right thing, I guess. The guy goes over to his house in the middle of the night to attack him. And Larry had been in a temple, which he never went to, but they gave him that horn to blow. So he used the horn to blow for help. And all the lights came on in the neighborhood.
Such a good show.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
Yeah, that show is hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to say a few things. Well, you said you had things you wanted to say about it.
I do.
You want me to read off? There's a few little things. Did you know he wanted to change Leith's name to Cobbsville? And then he had lived in Hawaii, right? And he lived there for 2 decades, and he worked as a cab driver. And he claimed that Barack Obama had been one of his passengers in Hawaii. And he claimed that Barack Obama told him he wasn't born in America. Really?
Oh, yeah. Right.
Just look it up. Hey, Mr. Cab Driver, I wasn't born in America. Why would you do this?
By the way, why are they so stuck on that? Like,
because he couldn't be president, I guess.
I know.
But I love when they go, Trump always goes, Barack Hussein Obama.
So ridiculous.
And then for me, and I'm sure you feel the same way, when he had to take that DNA test.
Oh my God, how hard did you laugh?
I knew it was going to happen because it always happens.
It always happens.
When people as a rule, people are surprised by their DNA results. So this guy was so convinced.
Always.
He can, first of all, I don't think anybody can be pure or anything because people all came from somewhere.
Of course.
So we went on this black woman's talk show.
By the way, how happy were those women?
I love it. And everybody, he went on there to get the results, and then she announces that he's like 14% African. And she's like, you're a brother. And she fist bumps him.
That was so funny.
And I
don't know that woman, but I love her.
It's the thing that pushed, apparently it was a British talk show, but she was on here briefly too. This is the thing that pushed him over the edge to do that to go, with the violence, It was the thing because he was so embarrassed. It was public humiliation. And he came back and he did this threatening armed patrol of Leith with it was that guy, right?
The Weasel.
The Weasel. I call him this cohort here.
Here's the thing about the Weasel. So they go to his house, this guy, and he shows them how he's a chef. I'm like, why are we spending time with this racist fucking chef? Who cares?
Because they're trying to show that these people are not just one-dimensional cardboard cutouts. And just because, say, someone shows up and says they're a chef and da-da-da, they could secretly be a racist. We have to watch out.
By the way,
right?
Did that food look super foreign to you?
Yes.
And I'm like, really?
Well, they don't care if it's food. It doesn't count, maybe. But I think a really good point of this whole thing is that they can be articulate and intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
We always take them to be complete numbskulls, and it's not.
No.
The numbskulls are a lot of followers of numbskulls, but the people that run it are not.
And the bad part is, I obviously don't like Trump, but
I thought you did.
He says,
that's a shock.
He doesn't hide anything. He just blurts it all out. Yeah.
But he changes his opinion. He used to be a Democrat, and he used to be pro-abortion.
Yes, but we know that he's a nutter. There's
nutter.
There's no escaping it. Everything that comes out of his mouth. It's the sneaky ones I don't like. The ones that don't tell you.
You like? But what are you saying?
No, I'm more, okay, I did not phrase that right.
So you like Nixon?
No, it's not that I like that. No, I don't.
Don't like, you like Trump but not Nixon.
No, I'm more nervous about the ones that are quiet.
Oh, no, I think I'm more nervous about Trump. I'm sorry to tell you this.
It's not that I'm not nervous about Trump. It's just the people that are hiding it freak me out. I hate that I don't know that.
I don't think anybody's hiding it anymore, actually. I think you're in luck because everybody's come out now.
Oh, now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't think we have to worry.
But before?
Yeah. I didn't
know all these people were like that. I mean, I had an idea because obviously I've lived on Long Island.
I was in Long Beach when Trump ran the first time, and I didn't know that Hillary had called the people that voting for Trump deplorables. I missed that memo. So I was helping some woman with her car. This was so sad. She was trying to fix her car, and her son was a mechanic, but he didn't want to take the time to come help her. Should have known then. But so then she's like, "Are you a deplorable?" And it just sounded like something that maybe the Republicans would call people. So I'm like, "Oh yeah." She goes, yeah. She goes, "This has happened to me more than once in my life where I've just agreed to the wrong thing." And she goes, "I guess we all are." Like that. Oh, and next thing you know, she's spewing hate because I said the code word.
You poor thing. And
I'm like, oh my God, I can't get out of this. It's like the time I accidentally said something and people thought I was Jewish. It's awkward, I was picking my son up from, I had my store, right? And we always made things for, it happened to be Rosh Hashanah. I was making things for Rosh Hashanah. So the woman was picking up her child and she's like, "Oh, how was your day?" I go, "Oh, so much. All these preparations for Rosh Hashanah."
Oh, she thought you meant you were preparing like it.
And then she just assumed, then she started saying stuff that was very like, "You're in my, you're with me." Like, and then like,
oh, then you can't say anything.
I know. And I'm like, how am I ever going to get out of this? Because I don't want to lie, but I definitely couldn't correct her because she'd already said so much that made her like she was so clearly excited that I was,
Well, why
thank God
out?
She pulled the kid out of it because I don't think I could have gone on with the charade. She pulled the kid out of the school.
No, this was someone you saw all the time.
Yes, she was picking up her kid from when they were little.
For some reason, I thought you meant at the store.
No. She was the store. They know why I'm getting ready for Rosh Hashanah. I was picking up. I guess Michael, one of them, one of my kids from that little Montessori school.
Yeah.
And no, I would have seen her every freaking day.
Oh yeah. Oh,
that's
that would have been weird.
It would have been completely awkward, right? So luckily, she got into an argument with them and pulled them out of there. I was like, thank God, because like I don't want this. Another time, someone asked me when I was a teenager. No, I was younger. I was like on the cusp of teen, and someone asked me if I was a virgin. I'm like, it sounded horrible. I'm like, no.
Oh, you didn't know what it was?
No. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about that, the Grease thing. I watched Grease. I didn't know what lousy with virginity was. Did you?
But no, I had no idea.
Well, it just sounded really bad the way she said it. So I'm like, no. So then I had to come, when I found out what it was, I'm like, now I got to come up with a story.
Yeah, that's one of those. Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it next time. Something to look forward to. So, so that's 3 awkward times that I did the wrong thing. But in any case,
I always get Spanish. People they start speaking Spanish.
Oh, wow.
This happens all the time. It has happened for my whole life.
Wow.
And I always feel really bad because I'm like, obviously they want some sort of help.
Yeah.
But I can't give it to them because I know a little Spanish, but it's not my.
Well, you could do now, really, if you really wanted to.
You could translate.
That's what I was saying. Yes. Yeah, you ever think of it? That is a really good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I would always feel bad because I'm like, I can't really help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were one of them.
Yeah.
All cultures think you're one of them.
Oh, Haitian people always go, I get, are you sure? I've gotten that. You don't look Haitian.
The one thing you are, they don't believe
not
you.
Not one person has believed I was Haitian.
Wow.
That's Haitian.
But yet everybody
Other
else
people don't care because they don't know what a Haitian looks like.
No.
Oh, yeah, no.
You're the only Haitian. I mean, I've seen other Haitians, but like you're the one. You're my Haitian.
Oh, I could spot a Haitian from 50 yards.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean that's how I grew up. All Haitians.
But they don't think you're Haitian though.
No, this new job that I have, so there's a Haitian guy that works there, and so obviously I was like, "Oh, are you Haitian?" I don't know why. It's like I'm like a glutton for punishment for some reason, and I go, "Oh yeah, me too," and he goes, "You look Indian." Oh. And I was like, "Wow, I haven't gotten that one before, but okay." I mean,
like Indian,
fine.
like from India, or Indian like native.
I don't know.
You should have had him elaborate.
I mean, it could go either way.
Yeah.
I don't really care, but I was like, really? Like, why would I make that up?
I could see you being Indian, maybe. Get that look.
It's fine. But
the sari, that's nice. Get a sari.
I would love to wear a sari. They're so pretty.
I think they're beautiful, yeah.
But I was like, why would I come up to you and make that stuff up? I didn't have to say anything.
I know, it's like, if you're going to claim to be something, why would you choose Haitian?
Especially with all the stuff Trump has said about Haitians. Why would I admit to that?
That's so funny.
I mean, he called it a shit old country. He said Haitians were eating cats and dogs. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
to which TikTok responded by dancing to it all.
By the way, Haiti has had, I mean, a horrible history.
Yeah.
These are people that have gone through, I mean, the stuff this country has gone through. Like, why are you picking on them? Like, just shut the fuck up.
Because it's an easy target.
It really is.
That's
it's
what
sad.
They want, yeah.
A lot of the places and people that he's picking on.
It's unrest.
Right.
He's not. It's just what he wants. Whatever he can do to stir the pot.
Yeah, it was just shitty. But once again, why would I make it up anyway? Like, that makes no sense. What, I'm just going to pick a country and go with it? That's weird.
Agreed.
But yeah.
But you and I are more, rational. I wouldn't call myself, if I was going to describe myself, rational would not be the first thing, but I definitely am compared to the things that are going on. Yes. And I also wouldn't make things up about anybody because I'm a nice person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So sorry. Go ahead.
So, all right. So he came back and he started doing this patrol with the beady-eyed guy and the beady-eyed guy's lover. She kept saying, I'm my lover.
Like, who does that?
Meanwhile, she's so hideous.
I know. I was like, boy,
I'm filming my lover.
I'm like, are all super racist?
And
like,
it was
really
great
ugly?
that she filmed it because it was evidence against them.
She's running after them with this camera.
And they're going.
You're not doing them any favors.
And they're walking around with their gun, like really being menacing. And little by little, and they're like a slew of 911 calls. Well, it couldn't be a slew because there's only 24 people. But little by little,
people
as he's walking through the town attacking. So, and it's so funny because what's his name again? The beady-eyed guy? I call him the cohort.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
Lover. The lover was wearing combat fatigues.
He was.
He was wearing fatigues, but Cobb wore a very un-Aryan outfit. Jeans, a windbreaker, and flip-flops.
No.
This is the best. A white nationalist website posted the video under its humor section. Okay? It's really bad when your hate group hates on you. Let's laugh at this guy. Look at his outfit.
Well, that is a point I have to make at the end.
Okay. Well, I read something that said that he was in white socks and sandals, but then I looked at the picture because they had because I don't remember what he was doing. But I definitely saw his toes. I saw his toes,
and he probably had nasty toes.
Ew! But those gross flip flops. Oh,
if you're going to be menacing, really, you're going to wear flip flops.
It's a strange choice.
It is. He's a strange man.
He looks like a troll that lost half its hair.
Yeah. By the way, the guy, the weaselly face guy, the cohort.
Yeah.
At some point, he's in whatever that town hall that looks like a cafeteria. I don't know.
Did you see the jail?
Yes. It's a very small town. So, I mean, it's like a one-room thing. So he starts freaking out. I forget what he's freaking out because people aren't being nice to him or whatever.
Right. Yeah. They don't like
he's
that.
Freaking out. He starts yelling and screaming like a lunatic. And at the end, he throws up the Nazi salute and starts yelling, Heil Hitler! Heil Hitler! I'm like, nobody's going to help you now. Like, they weren't helping you before.
It's like a child that just reverts to the one thing that it's like his comfort thing to say,
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
I think it's just like, literally, it's like in childhood when a kid will start yelling, like the comfort thing, that's what he was doing.
And it was absolutely a tantrum like a child would. He just kept getting angrier and nobody's like yelling back at him.
No. They were really, I can't believe how reserved they were.
They really were.
I mean, I would have lost my mind, I think, at that point. But when that happened, I would have lost my mind.
I know, but they're smart not to lose
very
their
smart. I hope I would in the situation be able to be calm knowing that what's at stake, but I don't know. It makes me crazy just seeing it.
I know.
I mean, it's really hard to believe this could easily have happened.
Oh, yeah. And he was posting their information on the internet.
Yes.
Like where they lived, their families, everything. Yep. All of their personal information.
And the people, it's very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Not only do they sometimes attack them, but they also dox them and you can get killed from that.
I don't know what that means.
Doxing means you make a false report that there's terrorism going on someplace or some hostage situation, and everybody swoops in.
Wow.
And people get
that's
killed that way.
crazy.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's so dangerous. But you got to admire these people because they were like, they were worried, but they still didn't bow down to this guy.
Yeah. It really makes you feel good, actually, about people.
Yeah.
After that happened, right away, he was arrested on felony terrorizing and misdemeanor menacing charges.
Both of them were.
Yeah. But really, the guy to get out of the place was Craig.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that had the land and all that stuff. Yeah. So on February, I don't even know what happened to the other guy. I guess the same thing as this. But on February 27th, 2014, 2014, pleaded guilty to 1 count of felony terrorizing and 5 counts of misdemeanor menacing in a plea deal for 4 years of supervised probation, meaning an ankle monitor, but no additional jail time. He spent 3 months in jail because he couldn't make the bond. And he offered to leave the state and even the country if the charges were dropped, but they said no. So then he went on a hunger strike that resulted in being evaluated by a mental facility.
What a dummy.
So what do you want to... I have some takeaways, but what do you want to say about it?
So, yeah, he sat in jail. So where were all his little racist buddies? Yeah. They did not help him.
They were mocking him on the internet because he wore flip-flops.
And then when he did get out of jail at the end of the movie, no one came and picked him up.
Yeah.
He sat there with his garbage bag full of shit and went to a motel, I would assume. And, of course, the woman who checked him in was black, and he was very polite to her. Went to his room, and at the end of the movie, you see him at the bus stop with his big old bag. So I'm like, where are all these people?
Right. Well, you know what's weird? Some of them still own the property, but
they do. They said it at the end of the movie,
and they still do now.
Yeah,
you know, but they've never tried. I guess they just don't want to. You know, they're like, no, we're not going to.
Well, the townspeople
really made. They made it clear they're not going to have that.
They destroyed everything.
Yeah,
but I was like, nobody is there for you.
No, it's true.
You're a sad little racist.
There's no honor among racists.
No, I'm like, they were all in his.
When he was in power, and he was like, they were all
there.
Were
all behind him.
They all ran like little rats.
They sure did.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I love that actually. Yeah, it's that town. I can't. Even the mayor said he inherited his position.
I know.
You have to get voted. What a town.
I didn't realize there were towns that small. I mean, I know there's small towns, obviously, but that
was really excuse me. Yeah, it's I'm just really heartened by the town though. Like I really like that.
I love those people. Except when it first started.
Yeah.
I don't know why this made me think this, but the couple that turned out to be amazing, they were wearing those trench coats.
Yeah.
Like matrixy leather trench coats.
I think it's grief.
I guess. But I was like,
someone's daughter was murdered. No.
I was like, why are they wearing those coats?
I think it was some sort of despair. I don't know.
It makes me think of, I know this is terrible, but those Columbine kids with the trench coat.
Oh, God.
You know, the trench coat mafia.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where my mind went, that people who wear coats like that are bad people.
No.
Which doesn't make any sense really, but that was my first thought.
I had heard it on how I heard about this was on another podcast called what's
the
it
court
called?
one?
Yeah, Let's Go to Court, which I recommend to everybody, and then it turns out it ended. But you can still listen to all the
episodes, right?
So that's how I learned about this. So so I already knew the story. So when I saw the trench coats, I knew already. Like, you know what I mean? So I didn't really get a pure opinion when I first started watching
because they don't tell you.
Yeah.
They just introduce this couple.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, they look fine. They don't look like, bad people. But it was all that coat. And I'm like, really? I judged them by a fucking coat?
Yeah. Well, you definitely judge people that wear Crocs.
My son loves Crocs. Absolutely.
Oh my God. That's another thing on that show. The one of them said, one of them was saying, if you do this to me, if you betray me like this, I'm going to make sure that you are buried in Crocs. I'm going to tell everyone you loved Crocs.
How funny is it that I have a child who loves these Crocs?
You know, I did wear them when we went to Costa Rica. I bought that pair. They were well, I had to because all I had was sneakers. I thought sneakers would be okay, but they're not because of the mud and all that. right?
No, there's a lot of mud and water, so those shoes
I
were
bought them, and they
really good.
They actually are decent. Like, I like them because they just endure anything.
People
You don't
say
have to
they're
wash them. Like,
super comfortable.
they're fine.
I don't know.
They're very popular.
So popular.
Yeah. But I sent you the picture once of the high heel Crocs.
Oh, no. Nope.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
Yeah, I just don't like them.
Well, that's how you have a friend with those let's go to court women. Yeah. I thought that was so funny. They say a lot of things that remind me of us. That's where I got the idea for the Grease. We're going to talk about Grease in the next episode. I got the show, not the movie, not the country. But I got them from them also. But they can be they're good. I mean, but they're silly sometimes, but they're very good.
I like
true crime.
I really
no, but sometimes
like that other
really
one.
Oh,
what is it
I
called?
think not.
Oh yeah, I love those two.
They're good, but they just do cases that like.
I like it because they do shows about those crime reenactment shows that are ridiculous.
They're so stupid, right? That's why I don't want to hear about that.
Oh, I love it.
And at the end, you find out that they've changed because I think that tells you what really was true. None of it was really true. Like so little of it was true.
Those two are very funny.
They're very funny.
Yeah.
But again, like I like more pure crime. I like my crime pure.
Yeah. I like it because I also find those shows ridiculous and I like their take.
Oh, there's a show that I only watched the very beginning. You find things that when you're going to sleep and they're just not appropriate for going to sleep. But this looks like it's not reenactment. It's just murders. I think it's called The Real Murders of Orange County.
No, like The Real Housewives.
Yeah, right. And then it turns out there's a few of the Real Murders of Atlanta. Apparently there's
like The Housewives.
Yeah, but I started watching and it was a real case. It was like something to be watched, like interesting. Okay. So I have to try to watch it. I listen to everything. I usually get it on podcast version. Maybe they have it as a podcast. I listen to everything. I can't remember the last time I actually watched any of these things because I get home so late and I'm too tired.
Oh my God. My son and daughter-in-law recommended this show. So I just had COVID. So I had to be home, which is my dream come true.
She just got COVID for the first time.
For the first time.
She's no longer Gold Star.
I know. It's like, really?
Yeah.
But whatever. So I was home, because you can't go anywhere. Once again, my dream come true. I just sat with my cats.
She likes to be home.
So I started watching the show, which is not a show I would normally watch. But I'm like, they love this show so much, I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah.
I binged 2 seasons. I love this show. I kept texting them about it.
What show?
It's called Traitors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It looks awful.
It is so good.
Is it like a game show or something?
Yes. I don't watch game shows usually. I mean, like regular game shows.
No, I have no interest in anything.
I have to tell you.
Why is it good?
I don't know. These people are so interesting. They're all nuts. It's like people from all these.
It's sort of like Survivor.
There's people from Survivor. There's people from Housewives.
Oh, you mean it's actually people that have been on other shows?
Are all from other shows.
Oh, I didn't know that, but I wouldn't know them anyway.
So
I only know Richard from the first season of Survivor.
I don't know any of these people, by the way. I knew Ryan Lochte.
Yes,
the swimmer. Well, that's the only one I know.
By the way, the guy that wrote White Lotus was the runner-up on Survivor.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
Oh, that's so funny.
I know.
Yeah, but this show.
All right. And so so what are they trying to do? Survive?
So
not really, but
these people all go to this castle in Scotland.
Yeah. Oh.
So the host, Alan Cummings, who's awesome, he picks 2 to 3 people that are traitors, but the rest, nobody knows who they are.
He's told them they're traitors privately?
They sit at a table blindfolded, and then he taps them on the
phone. Okay.
So they have to get through the show without people finding out they're the traitors, and they get to murder somebody every night.
Oh, nice. All 3 of them?
They go into this...
Wait, do they go together to kill one person, or they all 3 separate murders?
No, they all pick somebody. So they...
Wait a second.
They meet...
The 3 traitors...
How 3 traitors.
But how do they know that the other ones are traitors too? Like, how do they know?
They don't find out until they go to the Tourette.
What the fuck is
that? It's Tourette. Like this room in the castle.
Oh, I was thinking of Tourette's syndrome.
No. So they go to this thing and they find out who the other ones are. They don't know.
They are told.
Yeah, when they
don't the other ones know that they're missing?
No, because there's a bedtime and you have to be in your room.
Wow.
And there are cameras.
This does
in
sound
your room.
interesting. Way more interesting because
Yeah.
all I ever see is that guy going, "You're a traitor." Like, who cares?
Oh, and then so they have to do like what do you call it? An activity. That's not the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. Go do something.
Yeah. To win money. And these are
a challenge, right?
Yes. Yeah. I would never do these things, but whatever.
Would we ever? Well, that's why they have it.
Oh, yeah. But I like the women on it that are like, oh, no.
Is it like when that other show where the people had to eat disgusting things?
They haven't had to eat anything, but
that was disgusting.
Bad things have happened that I would freak the fuck.
That sounds
interesting.
Was one. So and then they're getting killed in the middle of the night.
Yes. So you have to figure out who would want to kill that person.
Well, do they have to have a reason? I thought they were just blindly killing
people. No, to figure out who the traitors are, you kind of have to think about who.
How could killing someone? None of these people knew each other before they got there.
No, so some of them do know each other.
So the three traitors, he picks them randomly, doesn't he? Or he picks them.
No, he picks them.
So they didn't all have a motive. They don't all have one singular motive to begin with.
No. So you have to kind of try to figure out
why they
would kill that person off.
Then there's really a rationale?
When it gets later in the game.
Oh, but not in the
not at the beginning.
Interesting.
It is so. I just fell in love with this show.
And what do you win?
I forget. It's not enough money for me personally.
I mean, maybe they just like
$250,000.
But you know what? They like to be on TV. These people, if they've already been on the shows, they got the bug.
Cutthroat.
Oh, I wouldn't cutthroat anybody for. Well, I wouldn't mind $250. You want to give it to me? I'll send it right over.
Well, the thing is okay. So the other people are the faithfuls. So if you're left at the end, if there are any traitors in that last group and you don't know, the traitor gets the money.
I'm confused. You're saying they have
supposed to get rid of all the traitors and whoever the faithfuls are.
I mean, but how do they know? So if you say, "I think you're a traitor," the person has to admit it. Oh, what do you mean? Well, then how do they get rid of them?
If they voted them, so they vote every night.
Oh,
and if a traitor is voted off, they do have to admit whether they're a traitor or not.
Interesting.
I love it.
Oh, sounds very complicated though.
I know, but I'm telling you, 2 seasons, and I can't wait. There's a 3rd season. I'm so excited.
It's already out?
Yeah, they're all on Peacock.
I know. I saw it there, but I'm like...
I know. I've seen the commercials.
The commercial does nothing for me.
I was like, I never wanted to watch that.
No, because they don't do themselves. They need to make a better a trailer to really show you what it's about.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would never watch that like otherwise.
I would never watch it either, but they were like... And even my son was like, it's really good.
Wow.
The two of them were really into it, and I'm like... it's not, they don't have a lot of free time.
Right.
So obviously it's, I was like, oh, it's got to be good. Plus I trust their opinion. They have pretty good taste. So yeah.
That's interesting. All right. Maybe I'll check
that out. And I've gone completely off topic and it's so late.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh no. Oh God. All right.
Sorry.
All right. So I want to say, what I want to talk about was the movie Nervously Skirts. I could just cut all that out. The movie nervously skirts the civil rights issues about freedom of speech. I said that already. That's the quote from the New York Times. So I say that the documentary and these events prove that our freedom of speech amendment needs to be amended.
Yeah.
Just as though you can't yell fire in a theater, nor should you be able to shout out the N-word at people. Hate speeches need to be restricted. They did it in Canada, okay? This guy was living in Canada and he had to flee to avoid arrest because they have rules against hate and they don't tolerate it. So they were going to they were getting together a warrant, and he escaped before it could be executed. And there remains a warrant to this day for his arrest if he returns.
Canada is not playing.
We need that.
Oh, I think so too.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I said, it's interesting, said cynically, that the exercise of free speech is being used as an excuse to hold and expel people deemed undesirable by the current administration. But white supremacy speech is just peachy keen.
Oh, what was it? He said they're good peoples.
On both sides. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe I said peoples, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
What was her name? Nia Peoples?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was wonderful. And then I said about the doomsday concept, we might want to think about that. It's just something to think about. I won't say anything more. This is really funny about him. Like it's about what happened to him next. In 2015, just when he got that ankle monitor thing off, He attempted to purchase $69,000 worth of property in Antler, North Dakota, in an attempt to take over the town and rename it after Donald Trump, who Cobb says he admires. I mean, I wouldn't have thought
that far.
He wasn't allowed to leave. He wanted to go. He begged them to go somewhere else. He was not allowed to leave. Isn't that funny?
What he gets.
Yeah. So then he went to Nebraska when he got that thing off, and he tried the same thing in 2 Nebraska towns, Red Cloud and Innervale, and these attempts were thwarted as well. A local court blocked the sale of properties to him after the nearby town residents were able to pay the back taxes on the property. So they all pulled together their money to pay the back taxes to buy the thing out from them.
You know what? This has renewed my faith in America.
Yeah. I'm serious. I think it's great. Yeah. And so I said this gives me more hope for America than anything in recent memory. Perhaps Leith and Antler and Red Cloud and Innervale's moral courage and strength will be replicated all over the country. There are a lot of things. You know, my friend went to one of those protests on Saturday. Yeah. I don't know. I just can't get into it because I just don't feel.
I think I would like to.
Well, there's another one on the 19th if you want to go.
It depends on if I have to work or not, but
I'm not going though. I don't know. I feel like I mean, maybe we will. Maybe it will work. I hope it does.
Not only that, but it makes me feel better to know there's that many people that are not okay with what's happening. Just being with them just gives me like a sense of hope and solidarity. And I'm not a group person.
I did all that when I was younger, all that. But I kind of got burnt out from never winning after I did. I know. That we kind of lost.
I don't know. All the ones I have gone to have been very peaceful.
Oh, they were peaceful. But I'm just saying that it resulted in worse things happening. Things got worse, not better. I'll tell you that. So look, it's great. My friend, she's been doing it so long. She's older than me. She's like so into it, but I just don't have that. I don't know. I cheer them on for sure.
Like I loved that women's march. I thought that was really great.
You went to them?
I did.
Wow.
I did. And then
there's a prime example of nothing happening.
This guy I know though, afterwards, he didn't know I went and he goes, "Oh, it's all a bunch of women who have no jobs, no lives, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, I'm one of those women and we're at work.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, that's
job.
A silly thing to say. There were so many women. How could they all be unemployed?
But that's the mentality of these people. I'm like,
but that's my point.
We're friends. You know me.
I think it's great that you went and everything. Don't get me wrong, but like nothing came of it. That's my point.
Yes, and I understand what you're saying.
When was that? During Trump's first term?
Yes. Yeah. I went to a whole bunch at that time. But
I used to go to a lot of gun things. And now he's gotten rid of a lot of gun control laws. That's another thing he did.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why am I surprised?
But anyway, I think it's great. I support anybody that wants to go. I just find it very hard because I've been kicked up. I was doing this before I was even able to vote. I was out there protesting. I was a real protester. I was like, I'm going to go do it all. And I just got kicked down so many freaking times.
I know.
That I want to, but I just need to breathe a little bit. But I support you. I hope you go.
Yeah. Like I said, it depends on, my work schedule is pretty tight lately.
Okay. I have a funny final note about Cobb. Corn on the. His last recorded activity was to buy a church in Nome, North Dakota. He went back to North Dakota. He wanted to transform it into a chapel for the creativity movement, which doesn't that sound nice?
What is that?
Oh, it's short. It's actually, well, they use these tricky names, just like socialist sounds like it could be cool. It's the creativity movement is short for the Church of the Creator, an atheist white supremacist movement espousing white separatism, anti-theism, which means they don't believe in God because it turns out they all believe they're God. The men are God and the women have to be subservient.
Alrighty.
Yeah. And the women put up with that shit. I guess they're, indoctrinated. Anti-Semitism, anti-Christianity, scientific racism, which I didn't have the time to look that up. I don't know what scientific racism is. Doesn't sound good. Homophobia, of course. We've been missing that. And religious and philosophical naturalism, that doesn't sound good at all. That sounds like all that stuff with eugenics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I really still want to write a book about. The fact that we did all that here needs to be exposed. I mean, it is, but not enough. Most people still don't know. So
yeah, because I would think they wouldn't think it happened here.
Oh, it happened here. As a matter of fact, we're the ones that taught Hitler about it. You know, so
yeah, but people don't know that.
Well, why don't they know?
Because you know how much they don't teach.
I know. I want to write a book for young adults about it, but it's very hard. It's a hard sell.
Like how much
no one wants to admit.
Have you found out about after you've left school?
Yeah. But this was big.
Get me started.
Don't get me started on Planned Parenthood, okay? Because.
Oh, really?
That woman said, this is a quote, half quote, little bit, because I don't know exactly, but she basically said, colored people are like weeds to be exterminated.
Oh my God.
That woman said, and she started Planned Parenthood. It had another name at first, specifically to eliminate all the births of Black children.
Oh my God.
And it is still racist. It's just a covers. Okay, and maybe it serves a purpose, but if you look at Planned Parenthood, look at it carefully, they're only in poor neighborhoods. There's a reason.
Oh my God.
Okay. And Kanye West would go on about a lot of shit. And then he said about Planned Parenthood. And I said to my son, he's right about one thing. And Michael goes, Planned Parenthood. Because it is an organized attempt to eliminate poor people from, like, mostly Black people and people of color. It's trying to eliminate them. That's what it does.
Oh, we'll have to have a conversation about that. I'll
do an episode. I'll show you evidence.
Yeah,
that woman was the incarnate of evil. Awful.
Wow.
Awful woman, and everybody thinks she's so great.
No, right?
She was a eugenicist. It was all the eugenics. It was all that.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Plus, that goes right along with forced sterilization. They weren't doing it to the rich white people.
They never are.
You know how many Native Americans were sterilized against them? They did not know. They did not know until they tried to have their own children. It's disgusting. Anyway, all right, I'm not going to go on about that now. So he wished to name this church that he bought. He wanted to name it after Donald Trump once again. But alas, the church was destroyed in an arson attack the same day that a local newspaper ran the story covering Cobb's plans.
That's a shame.
There you go. Donald misses out on two good things. Okay, so now I have two quotes. First one's from Marcus Aurelius. He said, "We hate some persons because we do not know them, and we will not know them because we hate them."
That's very true.
And then Nelson Mandela said, this is what I always say too. Exactly. Me and Nelson. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. I always say that people aren't born like that and they have to be indoctrinated.
Of course.
So let's do it. Let's change the indoctrination.
I'm telling you, I had no idea that anybody was racist until I went to school. Like that. Yeah. That never.
I didn't. I know. I wanted to invite my friend. I won't say her name. She's a very distinct name. I wanted to invite her over to play a play date with another friend, a girl, and the one friend was Black and the other one was like lily white. Now I didn't even know. To me, it was. I just
right. You're a kid.
So the lily white one goes, "Oh, I can't play with her." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "She's Black." I'm like, "What? What does that mean?" Like, because that's like my son. The first time he saw a Black person in school, he goes, "There's a brown girl in my school," and I'm like, "She's Black." He goes, "Didn't you hear me? I said she's brown." So like, it's so sad that innocence has to be torn down by that. It's all. And this kid's. She's obviously getting that from her parents. She was friends with her in school. She wanted to play with her, but she wasn't allowed.
I know. I've told you that story about the girl down the block from me?
Yeah.
Saying that she couldn't play. She didn't want to play with me because I was the only Black girl on the block.
It's so sad.
I was like, ugh.
Oh, and this is what happens. And then they grow up. This is what they're indoctrinated with.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, what is she even talking about?
It's awful.
Anyway.
You have
I did. I went James Baldwin.
Okay.
2 quotes by James Baldwin. That's whatever.
Cool. I like him.
He's pretty likable.
He's a likable guy, yeah.
Okay. It is certain in any case that ignorance allied with power is the most ferocious enemy justice can have.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
And then his other one is, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced.
That's excellent. Those are great. Ooh.
We did good quotes.
Good quotes, man. Yeah, deep. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening.
Oh, that was long.
I could cut out all that stuff. If you don't hear it, because I cut it out. We talked about traders quite a lot.
Oh, yeah. You could cut that out.
We'll see. I always edit somewhat, But anyway, thank you for listening, guys. We really appreciate you. Please follow, what's it called? Subscribe. Subscribe to us wherever you listen. It really helps us so much. If you rate it and if you review us, it really does help. So, I can't get over it. There's like a knitting show that has like hundreds of thousands of reviews or something like that. I heard.
I have to be honest, I don't know about you people out there, but I'm like, I don't know how to do any of that. I know I could figure it out. No, not knit, but subscribe.
Well, it's really, okay, you go on the app and you're listening to it and you just hit the subscribe button.
That's the problem, is that I never listen to it on apps.
Right. Yeah, if you go on the website and listen, I guess I don't know. Well, okay, what you can do, if you're not listening on that, you could still go like if you have an iPhone, you have the apps, what's it called? The podcast.
Yeah.
They have a podcast app. So all you can do is you got to search for it. You search for it on there and then, or it's on like Amazon Music or it's on iHeartRadio. Even if you don't normally listen on there, if you listen like through maybe you could be going through my website and then you're right. You can't subscribe or rate it. But if you go on an app and do that, it really would mean a lot if you could do that for us. So we appreciate it.
Yeah. Figure it out. And if you do, tell me.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks so much, and we'll catch you on the other side. Au revoir.
Good day.